Hello there, students and parents. Mr. K here with a video to help you go through some options for music apps and virtual instruments on devices like phones and tablets. I unfortunately really only have access to an iPhone and an iPad, and I have not used Android devices, but I understand that much of what I'm about to describe applies. So on your device, go to your App Store. You can look up something like piano, and a few things will come up. Well, many things will come up, including instructional apps, but then there are just basic instrument apps. And I have been using the piano keyboard, which I'll show you what it looks like as it operates on my phone. There it is. It's very straightforward. It operates as expected. It's hard to play with multiple notes at one time, what's called polyphony, but it's easy to play one note at a time. And you can choose different octaves. If you notice that there is the whited area in the mini keyboard above, it's moving around a bit. Now I'm way over at the high notes. It's up at C7 moving up to C8, and that's because there's 8 different octaves on the piano. This is back down to the bottom, C1, the deepest note on the piano. In school, we usually talk about the xylophone as being 2 octaves. So the piano is a little more complicated. Anyways, there are some good xylophone apps that do the same thing. Here I am looking for xylophone on the App Store. And I'll just show you a couple. There are many options for instrument apps. And one that I like in terms of what I think would be good for students is called Magic Xylo Lite. This one right here, L-I-T-E, Lite. And I like it because it looks and feels so similar and sounds so similar to the xylophones we have in the music classroom. So this is how it operates, or how it looks when it's operating. And so the sound is much like a classroom xylophone. The way the notes are laid out is very similar. The only weakness is that it does not have F2 and G2 and A2. But for most songs, this will work totally well. In a moment, I'll show you other options for a xylophone app or a marimba app that has more octaves. This one here, marimba xylophone, you can choose a range of octaves. So it's good in that way. I find it doesn't respond quite as prompt, a little bit sluggish or delayed. But it does work just fine. And for songs where you need more than a range of 11 or 12 notes, it's good that way. And you can choose different octaves. I also like it because it has all the sharps and flats. And so for the songs where you need an F sharp or a B flat, it's good that way. Now, besides piano and xylophone apps, there are also some very nice apps for learning songs. And one of my favorites that my daughters have used extensively is by a company, an app maker called JoyTunes. And if you go to an app store, your app store, and search Dustbuster, 2 options will likely come up near the top. Simply Piano is an instructional app. It's best done with a real piano, but I have not used it directly, but it looks good, and I've used a couple of their other apps that were really good. So that might be a good possibility. The one that my daughters have used on the family iPad is called Piano Dustbuster, this one here. And there's a big range of songs. They really enjoy it. And you can use a real piano, or you can use the virtual piano on the tablet screen. And you can set up an account or not set up an account. If you set up an account, it helps keep track of where you're at and helps you return to what you were working on in the past more easily. But either works. So this screen showing you, options for signing up, creating an account, or signing in through Facebook or something like that. Or you can just sign in as a guest with no account at all. And you just select these basic options, and you can choose to practice to start out. And then it asks you if you're playing on a real piano or if you want to play on the virtual keyboard. This is me playing on the virtual keyboard. And then it looks a lot like Guitar Hero when it's in this mode. And when you make a little mistake like that, it pauses and lets you find the right note. So it's quite fun in the way that it works like Guitar Hero. There are other modes where it's more like reading music off of a standard treble clef or treble and bass clef, depending on what you're playing. So it's quite fun, and it does work. It does help kids learn songs. There are many, many more options available in the app stores than just these. These are just some ones that of the several that I've tried out that I thought worked particularly well. If you have any questions, get in touch and I'll see if I can help you further.